June 4th, 2021 started like any other day. Daisy Jupiter Paulsen, our friend Rob's daughter, was on her way to visit her mother and grab some work clothes in the morning. Darkness still gripping some of the sky. As she skateboarded, she was stalked like prey from the shadows for God knows how long. Then the shadows came alive and Jupiter was ripped from her skateboard. For 25 grueling minutes, she was grabbed, she was beaten, her clothes were torn, she was choked and stabbed over 20 times for 25 minutes. After trying to suffocate her, her body was left on the ground to die. She was eventually brought to the hospital where she spent 4 days in a coma, alone in her mind, all by herself. Her family called out to her, but she couldn't respond. They pleaded for a miracle, but none came. For them, it was the worst 4 days of their lives. For her, an eternity had passed, isolated from the world, from her friends, from her family, and from her people. Why would anyone hate a little girl like Daisy? Her family loved her so much, and so did we. Now we're here outside the Cass County Courthouse in Fargo, North Dakota, to demand justice for the brutal torturing and murder of Daisy Paulsen. Not just by the monster Arthur Colley, her life was also stolen by the very system and people elected to protect her, the people who brought Colley here. The most brutal attack in North Dakota history couldn't even be mentioned by the governor himself in the last State of the State address, despite the family pleading and reaching out to him. Jupiter was stalked and attacked for 25 minutes. It was not a random attack like the media said. April 2019, a boy identified as Landon, 5 years old, was thrown from a balcony by a stranger at the Mall of America. 2020, Cannon Hinton, a 5-year-old boy in North Carolina, was ran up to and then gunned down by a neighbor. Cash Gernon, age 4, May 2021, Cash was abducted from his bedroom and found dead in the street several blocks away in the morning, stabbed to death. They were not random, they are part of a pattern of hate. Not only have police failed in their duties, the judicial system as well are purposely and maliciously disregarding precedent and common decency. They're allowing Colley and his anti-white establishment-backed defense to change their plea in an effort to cop insanity and avoid deportation. Everyone knows that Arthur's lying about being crazy. Judge Irby thinks he knows better than the court-appointed psychologist and wants a second opinion. The Fargo City Commission passed hate crime legislation as a way to condemn whites and only whites as racist, and as a way to supposedly stop violence. The latter part didn't work. Along with all the other well-documented anti-white blood libels hatefully peddled by the commission, they themselves declared open season on whites by inciting violence against us, by singling us out as the hateful ones. They themselves refer to this tactic as stochastic terrorism, and it got Jupiter Paulsen killed! The following is a poem written by Jupiter Paulsen. The title of the poem is Rain. I wish I was the rain, because I would actually have a purpose. I wish I could douse the trees and plants to give them growth. I wish I could make the rivers flow more smoothly. I wish I could be buried deep in the ground and provide for people, though they don't have much thought about me. I wish I could go unexpectedly and be free within the air and the ground, but I'm not. Instead, kids get upset that I ruin their plans and others curse because they have to walk and get soaked. some nature being unhappy because I flood the area that I wanted to take care of most and ruin everything I tried to fix. I wish I was the rain so I could be free to be whoever I wanted and free to be wherever I went. I wish kids were happy to see me, and I wish construction wasn't difficult because of me, but it is. Many people hate the rain, and that's okay, because believe it or not, I would already be used to it.
So some people might say to us, why are you guys out here making a scene? Why are you politicizing it? Why are you making a big deal of it? Why are you turning it into something? Why are you making people feel uncomfortable? Why are you embarrassing people? Just let the system work. Well, the system's not working, is it? No! If the system worked, we wouldn't have to do this. We wouldn't have to politicize it. I would like to hear every single person that says that turn around and tell that to everybody that marched in the streets, burned down cities, and broke shop windows and terrorized people because a black drug addict died in police custody. I'd like to see you say, no, politicize it to them. Boulder, Colorado last year, a man named Ahmad Al-Issa, he was a wealthy immigrant from Syria who decided one day to walk into a supermarket and kill 10 whites and only whites. They also have given him the insanity plea. It is impossible for this system to acknowledge that purposeful racial violence can be done against white people. And if they won't acknowledge that, they just open the door for more of it. And it's going to keep happening because it is incentivized. If it's not punished, it's incentivized.
Anti-white! Anti-white! Anti-white!
Every bureaucrat, politician, judge, police officer knows that they are incentivized to reduce black crime and increase white crime. Everybody knows all of the gun crime plaguing our country, the blood in the streets, the murders, constant every day. Everybody knows who's doing it. Black people are committing murders every day in this country. Jupiter Paulsen was one of the most tragic and the one that struck this community. But it's happening in communities across this country, and this system, because of the political incentives created by the Black Lives Matter movement, by the Jewish power system, they refuse to do anything about it. They're denying us our ability to be victims. They're denying us our very humanity. If you can't be a victim, you're not even really human, are you? If we can't politicize it, that means we don't have rights. Whatever it is, it's political. The way you stop things are political. The way you pressure the state, it's political. We need our rights. We demand our rights. We demand this state, which promised them to us as our birthright, give them to us. If they're not going to give them to us voluntarily, we're going to have to make them. We're going to have to make them through political pressure and activism so they can't face us in public unless we get our civil rights.
That's right!
We are not violent. You don't see us burning down stores. You don't see us breaking shop windows. You don't see us terrorizing people in the street, because that's not what we're about. We're decent people. We don't need to destroy things to make our point. We understand how that really works. That's not political action. That is terrorism, racial terrorism, and it's why the system is totally in thrall to anti-white, pro-black, pro-Jewish activists that actually just hate us.
White people away! White people away! White people away!
And every one of these corrupt officials is simply a coward. They're simply a careerist coward. It's inconvenient for their next promotion, for their next raise, for whatever their ambitions are, whatever job they want to get next. It's inconvenient for them to make a big deal, to actually deliver justice to Robert Paulsen and his grieving family and their community. Because Black Lives Matter, George Soros, and other Jewish Zionist oligarchs are controlling the justice system and not letting them provide justice for white communities. You provide justice for white people, you can kiss your your next promotion goodbye. That is what is going on. Just like in Waukesha, when we went there after Darrell Brooks, who had anti-white rap songs, anti-white statements on social media, statements that he wanted to punch the white people, even the old ones, they wanted to brush that under the rug. It was inconvenient. 6 people dead, 60 people injured, and it was just an inconvenience. They probably want to give him an insanity plea too. They probably will try and get out of it that way if they can. The media is uninterested in the case. They want to cover it up. President Biden, he didn't make a visit to talk to that community, not that they really wanted to talk to him, but he didn't even make the gesture. Nobody wants to acknowledge that we even exist.
If the prosecution really wanted to ensure Arthur Colley is punished to the fullest extent of the law, federal hate crime charges would be their strategy. They don't want that. Federal hate crime charges put the death penalty on the table, and we demand Arthur Colley be punished to the fullest extent of the law. The FBI were too busy spying on white Americans who did nothing wrong at PTA meetings to stop any real crime. The anti-white government is terrorizing every decent person in this country. They're the terrorists. Well, no more. We want justice.
Justice for Jupiter! Justice for Jupiter! Justice for Jupiter!